Hi, I'm Reed Holson. Welcome to Ask the Mayor, our conversation monthly with Mayor Mike Huether of the city of Sioux Falls on what's going on in and around the city. And some of our remaining shows here in Mayor Mike Huether's term. Can you believe it? Where's 8 years gone?
It's been a whirlwind of fun, but yeah, it seems like it was just yesterday when we started this, Reed. And so thanks for your coaching along the journey, and of course the people here that have helped make this program a reality. And we'll make the most of the remaining ones that we have.
Well, exciting news that you had just a few days ago is how much Sioux Falls is continuing to grow. You announced the new population estimate for this year.
183,200 people now have selected Sioux Falls as their home. We always knew it was a great place to work. Certainly, it's become a great place to play. But I think the biggest win, especially for downtown Sioux Falls, is that it's become the place to live for a bunch of people. And we are growing leaps and bounds, and did that again with our last projection of our population. Wasn't our largest growth, but it was really close.
So over the 8 years that you've been in office, really, we've added, over 30,000 people to Sioux Falls?
The way I've tried to present it, to kind of give people some perspective, is that over the 8 years that I've had the honor to serve you, we've actually added a city that's equivalent to the size of Aberdeen, South Dakota. And Aberdeen is the third largest city in our entire state, and we've done that in only 8 years. And I think the perspective is that imagine how many roads are in Aberdeen. Sewer lines, businesses, buildings, libraries, police team, fire team. Imagine all that, and we've done it in 8 years here. We've added that many people and have had that much activity. I'm thrilled by it. I'm glad that we are selected as the place to live for many. But the reality is that we still need to grow even more to capture these opportunities that we have. We still have one of the lowest unemployment rates in America. Young and old, black or white, rich or poor, whatever, they are truly looking at quality of life, and they're going to determine, does Sioux Falls have what they're looking for? And I think that we do. And that's why people are moving here, but we still need more to handle all these job openings that we have in our great city.
Well, people will define it as explosive growth. How has it changed the decision-making in the process in getting things done versus 8 years ago?
Well, I think that we have always prided ourselves in Sioux Falls and in the way that we plan and zone and prepare for growth. We are a city that has not just grown over the last 8 years that I've served you, we've grown in the past too. But we really take this planning seriously, and we try to stay one step ahead of it. Infrastructure, schools, roads, bridges, libraries, fire, police. And even though we've had some very, very large growth over the last 8 years, I think we've really done a really phenomenal job preparing for it and doing really good things. But we're not alone in this journey. For example, Sioux Falls public schools, Sioux Falls private schools, my goodness, they are certainly preparing for this growth as well, and I think they've done a good job, but we've got to do even more.
What would you say to the next mayor and how to manage this growth? Because it can get away from you if you don't plan.
Well, we are going to keep growing Sioux Falls, and so those mayoral candidates, that is going to have to be, part of their mission. What I would do is I certainly would rely on these wonderful 1,300 city employees that we have. They do a great job, but also rely on those other people that are part of this journey. Groups like these private partners that we have. Sioux Falls Development, the Chamber of Commerce, the state of South Dakota, Forward Sioux Falls, Downtown Sioux Falls, and yes, all these others that are really working in collaboration to make this the place to live in America. And gosh, we get all these national accolades all the time, Reed, about Sioux Falls as the place to play, as the place to work. And you bet, as the place to live too.
You mentioned collaboration. Over the years, there's been more agitation through the process and some consternation.
Yeah.
Talk about that spirit of collaboration that needs to happen between the mayor and the council and the public that get upset about things.
Well, I think that we have a really strong government here in the city of Sioux Falls, and we've proven that by our ability to get things done, to move things forward, and to leave this city in better shape than the way that we found it. However, yeah, I would agree. I think depending on the personalities that you're serving with, depending on those people that are elected to serve, it can definitely change the dynamic of your government, whether it be local, state, or federal government. Collaboration is important. Communicating is important. I think finding common ground and compromising is important. But I will caution folks, and that is, that I think that there are times where you have elected leaders that they are doing it. I don't know if it's for the wrong reason, but I struggle with it. And I think Governor Janklow at one time said it best, and that is, if you're really only doing it to get in the daily newspaper or get a blurb on TV, you're doing it for the wrong reason. You should be moving things forward, working to find that common ground and make things better than the way that you found them. And I think we've done a pretty good job here in Sioux Falls, but it does seem that more and more it is taking a turn where I think we're more focused on how can we stir the pot, how can we agitate, how can we throw a wrench in the wheel so that it stops or gets all mucky, and I don't think that serves anybody well.
How about our form of government as we continue to grow? Your faith in the strong mayor, city council government that our charter prescribes for us?
Well, I think it works wonderfully. I really do. It is a strong mayor form of government. You do have a city council that certainly has a strong role as well. I think that when they do work together, you can get some things done. I think there is a great check and balance that occurs between the executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch that serves us all. And yeah, I think that having a full-time mayor or chief executive, I think serves us well, because you do have 1,300 city employees, about a $500 million budget that you're in charge of, and I think that does well too. And I think that the part-time council, I think that they are definitely playing a strong role as a check and balance, but also in terms of coming up with good ideas to, improve our city, and yes, improve the relationship between the three branches of government. Every now and then I probably struggle though a bit too in terms of it is a part-time council, and I think that's something too that I've noticed is that more and more. I think that there are some counselors who want to turn it into a full-time job, and I don't know if that's the right thing either. I love the passion, love their public service, I love their willingness to work even harder for the citizens. But I don't think the right thing to do is to turn it into a full-time role. I don't think that's necessary, and I don't think the citizens of Sioux Falls want that either. But we'll see. We'll see. The government works very, very well, and we've proven that at least for the last 8 years. I believe strongly.
One of the major tools of the administration, especially with the big projects you've had over the years, is the request for proposal process.
You bet.
In a way of being transparent and being fair in awarding contracts for projects.
What I think has been disappointing, Reed, is that one of the most objective things, one of the most successful things, one of the most productive tools that we've used way before I was the mayor this RFP, RFQ process, it has really taken some unnecessary hits. And some things have been said about it or written about it that are just not flat out not true. This process, whether it's be an RFP or an RFQ, what it does, it's incredibly objective, and it helps us focus on the project as a whole, the necessity at hand, as well as it ensures that the taxpayers and the citizens and the city are represented very well throughout it. So whether it's building a new indoor pool, or our first development in our new rail yard redevelopment area, or yes, finding a new manager for these very valuable assets called Prairie Green Golf Course, Keene Golf Course, and Elmwood Golf Course, it really does a really good job, and it served us very, very well. And folks, it is objective. It is. And the people that we've had involved in this, they're objective as well. And I think that we've really made strides over the last 8 years in terms of even making it more fair, more objective, because we've added city councilors now to the mix. We've added citizens to the mix, including, yes, some city employees as well. And so when they're evaluating all these proposals that come in, you're getting a strong mix of people who really care about Sioux Falls in the grandest way, helping to make these decisions. I guess one of the things, though, that I found, Reed, is that even in sports, in business, and you bet in government, what I found is that sometimes when you lose, the very first thing you do is you blame the process. I find that disheartening. You do have to earn it. And in Sioux Falls, we are very, very particular in terms of making sure that the process is fair. And then, yes, if you want to serve the citizens of this great city, you are going to have to earn it. And that's why I think the RFP process has been unbelievably sound. And I hope that we keep using it not only in Sioux Falls, but across this great state for generations to come. Sure, we can tweak it here and tweak it there, and we will. But yeah, it's a really sound way to make decisions in the city of Sioux Falls.
Mayor, you've also been concerned about diversity and human rights over your elected tenure here at the city of Sioux Falls. And recently you joined a number of other mayors across the city for LGBT rights and discrimination issues. I
did. We are a city that's becoming more and more diverse. Our race, our creed, our color, our religious preference, our sexual orientation, our mental capacity, our physical capacity, and on and on and on. And there are still instances across our great country, across our great state, and across even our great city, where there is still some discrimination that takes place, or some prejudice, or profiling, or whatever, when it comes to a certain aspect of someone's life. And so, yeah, I did join a coalition of mayors all across our great country that does say, yeah, let's fight for even more protections or even more rights for folks of the LGBT community, and I'm proud of it, and really hope that we can do even more things to make this a more inclusive, welcoming, and compassionate city of that we all call home.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Reed.
And as the mayor knows, and you should know too, is if you're concerned about any issues of harassment or discrimination, either in your life or with your living arrangements, those types of things, the Human Relations Department here of the City Attorney's Office is there to help you. So you can find that information very easily at siouxfalls.org. We come back, we're going to talk about the top 10 wins for 2017 with Mayor Huether, next on Ask the Mayor. The Midco Aquatic Center is hiring part-time lifeguard positions, work while going to school, flexible schedules, and bonus opportunities available. No certification needed to apply. Find out more information at midcoaquaticcenter.org/employment. Welcome back to Ask the Mayor. We'd love to see your questions and comments on this program. There's just a few remaining as we look towards a new mayor for the city of Sioux Falls. Send them to siouxfalls.org. Front page, click on the mayor's office and click on Ask the Mayor. Mayor Huether, you and Cindy sat down and let us all know what your future plans are. And right now, it's not running for office.
Well, it's not running for office right now.
Right now.
That's true. That's true. We did outline our next steps on this life's journey. And again, as much as we want to control it, we know that we can. Only God can do that. But yeah, we are excited about the future. We are going to take a short period of time off. We'll tackle some, personal and professional goals along that journey in the short term. But Reed, I think the odds are very, very good. Again, if the people are willing and if God is willing, we'll be back to try to serve the great people of Sioux Falls or South Dakota or America again. I think it's no secret I've loved this job. I've loved this role. Dream I've had since the 6th grade, and I don't know if it could have gone any better. I certainly have had some challenging times every now and then. I think my skin is a little tougher than what it was when I started. Maybe my heart, is a little, stronger too. But no, I still want to do something in public service, but not ready to make that announcement today. Wasn't ready a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, we are going to do some things where we try to make a difference with the days that we've been given. I mean, even over the last 8 years, Reed, I'm a grandpa now. How did that happen?
Right.
But it changes your life. It changes your perspective.
Campaign and debate season is starting up here soon. What advice do you have for the rest of us as we choose our next leaders?
Sioux Falls, I just beg of you, pay attention. Pay attention. Your elected leaders, whether they be the mayor, the council, a governor, a school board, county commissioner, whatever, you can't imagine what difference those elected leaders make on your day-to-day. Whether it be how you live, how you play, how you work, your safety, and all those things. So these elections are critical. First of all, I would say we need you to register to vote. There are so many people in our great city that are not registered to vote, and they should be. And then please do vote if you are registered. It is so simple. It takes so little time, but it is so important. And yes, get to know these candidates that want to serve you. It is it's an important time. What's interesting, it seems like it's been a very, very quiet campaign to date. This is February, and I think that most people don't even know that I can't run for mayor again, which is kind of unusual, but it has been that quiet. So with that in mind, it looks like we're going to have a pretty compacted season in terms of determining our next councilors, our next mayors. And so, please pay attention, get engaged, and ask those candidates who want to serve you, ask them some tough questions. It's so easy, and I know this because I've run for mayor a couple of times. It's pretty easy to be an armchair quarterback. It is. And I've already heard some of the things that some of these candidates are saying, and my thought is, really? Because until you're actually in the arena, until you're making these tough decisions, until you're engaging the people of Sioux Falls as much as we do, and until you are in this arena where you've got 8 unique personalities on the council, and then this mayor, and until you're in that, you really don't know the intricate details and how we are getting things done, and how wonderful it is to serve. I guess I not only have some advice for the people that may vote, I'll give you some advice for the candidates who want to serve you. And that would be, council candidates, mayoral candidates. Before you, say this is what I would have done, or this is what they should have done, or whatever it would be, I would encourage them. You don't have to talk to the mayor, but go talk to the people that were truly in the arena, that department head, existing counselors, and others, to find out what did go into that decision making, because you can imagine the amount of due diligence, the amount of time, the amount of effort, the openness, the transparency, the communication, the collaboration. You can't imagine just how much goes into all these things before we make a decision on behalf of the people that we serve.
2017 top 10 wins. Lightning round time.
Okay.
Some comments on each one of them here.
All right.
Just announced recently.
Thanks, Reed.
So number 10, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but human rights and diversity for the city of Sioux Falls.
We are becoming more diverse, and we need to pay attention to it and add some resources to that, and I just love it.
Fleet management was centralized, which was a big deal for the city. You look at all the trucks and equipment that we have.
We have over 1,600 different vehicles and pieces of equipment that we manage as a city. In the olden days, Reed, every department used to manage it separately on their own. You know that's not productive. You know that's not the most efficient way to do it. Now we have one area, fleet management, that manages it for every department, whether it be parks or public works or police or whatever. And I just think that that's just a great, great win for our city.
Number 8, the nearing completion new city administration building.
It is. Last time we built a city administration building, Sioux Falls, was 1936. Babe Ruth hit his last home run in 1936.
Was it 1936?
Yes.
Work Projects Administration Project.
WPA,
too, right? Yeah.
FDR, Elvis Presley was born. That just shows you how long ago it was that we invested in a building like this. But it's on time, it's under budget, Sioux Falls, and it's going to serve not only our employees but our citizens for a long, long time.
Number 7, tobacco-free public places. Obviously, City Hall was tobacco-free, now public places.
Well, it's no surprise, Sioux Falls. I hate smoking because it killed my dad and it kills so many other people that we love. I love how the City Council collaborated with the administration and others to find a way to protect not only our people that live here, but also the visitors that come here from some of the ill effects of tobacco.
Number 6, collaborative development. A lot of projects, railroad relocation, downtown development all across the city.
Development doesn't happen on its own. It is very, very collaborative, whether it be Sioux Falls development, community development, state of South Dakota, and these private developers, and on and on and on. But we had some monsters. Wind Chill out, that's a $40 million investment. The Gage Brothers expansion, another $40 million project. The Cascade project in downtown Sioux Falls, another $43 million project. And an announcement coming soon on the rail yard redevelopment land. And so, yeah, it's just been a wonderful year for getting things done in these collaborative ways.
Number 5 of the top 10 is the changes in how we golf and how we enjoy our golf courses in Sioux Falls.
You know, we've spent 3 years refurbishing and building a brand new Elmwood golf course. That's done. It's just phenomenal. We've got that new hotel and restaurant, and that is attached to it out there. That's just going to be a wonderful amenity, including a Golf Hall of Fame, Reed. And then when you throw in, yes, for the first time in 23 years, we wanted to see if we could elevate the management of Sioux Falls golf to a higher level. And we've done that now with Landscapes Unlimited. And I think it's really, really going to be fun to watch over the next year or two in terms of how we golf in the city of Sioux Falls.
Number 4, the city's financial health and management and restructuring debt and taking good care of the stewardship of Sioux Falls.
It's no surprise. We've talked about this, Reed, but sales tax revenues are not coming in at the level that we want. So we've had to really be aggressive in terms of managing these expenses, prioritizing at a higher level, making tough decisions, and we've done that. I think we may have the strongest city in terms of financially in America. I'm going to say that again. I believe it. I think Sioux Falls is one of the strongest cities financially that there is. but it takes a lot of work to make that happen. And so really, really proud of our team for doing that.
Number 3, fifth straight year of record-breaking construction, 5 years in a row.
Unbelievable. There is so much confidence, so much energy, so much willing to invest in the city of Sioux Falls right now that we keep breaking our construction records. The new record right now is about $737 million. And hey, Sioux Falls, guess what? We're going to break it again. I strongly believe that.
Really?
I know it's February. I believe strongly we're going to break it for a 6th straight year. So hang on. There is development happening everywhere, north, south, east, west, and yes, I love what's happening in downtown Sioux Falls.
Number 2, major street reconstruction, something you chase every year.
I do. I wanted that to be really the foundation of my campaign when I was running for mayor, and I wanted to really follow through with that if I had the honor to be your mayor. And we've done that. Sioux Falls, I don't know if you're aware of this, we have repaired, rebuilt, or replaced over 430 miles of roads in 8 years. 430 miles of roads. And some of them are monsters. Remember Louise?
No.
Remember that by the mall? 69th and Western, and on and on and on. And then for giggles, we invest $25 million in wastewater enhancements. Reed, when I was first elected, it was about a month and a half in, we had that major sanitary sewage line collapse up by the prison. That was a wake-up call for me. It was a wake-up call for Mark Cotter, and it was a wake-up call for our great city that we needed to pay attention not only what's above the ground, but we had to invest aggressively in what's below the ground too, such as those wastewater pipes and water pipes and so much more. So yeah, I love it. It's kind of boring infrastructure, but oh my goodness, it's been just a great, great investment.
When you don't have it, then you get upset about it.
And you'll pay the price.
That's right.
You will.
Yeah. And then number 1, the mixed-use parking ramp and more parking and development in downtown Sioux Falls, $50 million project.
Sioux Falls, the easiest thing to do would have been, we know we needed some parking, let's just build a parking ramp. That's what we've done for years in the city of Sioux Falls. Now, that's not good enough. It wasn't visionary enough. It wasn't dreaming big enough because land is so valuable now in downtown Sioux Falls. So when you can build upon that land, you should make sure that you get your money's worth out of it. That you get the greatest value, the greatest return that you can. And this $50 million public-private partnership will make that happen. Certainly we'll get our parking need addressed, but then we'll do other things, such as making it an even greater place to live, work, and play in Sioux Falls. And really, really proud of this one. I want to thank the councilors that were willing to deal with the scrutiny that came our way. But again, I think we talked about this when it came to the RFP. Being objective is a really big deal when you're in public service, Reed. And I think that, certainly it's hard when people are so passionate about something, but ultimately, if you're going to serve well, you want to try to stay as objective as you possibly can. We've done that with golf course management, with the event center, with an indoor pool, and we did it again with this mixed-use parking ramp. And I think that 5 years from now, when they see that thing up and running, people are not going to remember the leadership that was required to make that happen, but I will. I will, and and that's why I'm just so thankful for the people who are willing to lead and ultimately make a sound decision for the great city of Sioux Falls.
Mm-hmm. Mayor, thanks for your time.
You're welcome, Reed. Thank you.
All right. Say, don't forget, as we talked about city elections coming up, the deadline for you to register to vote is March 26th. As Mayor Huether says, get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
It's very important, and especially in our city elections. This will be a shared city and school election, too, so don't forget that date on March 26th. Also the time that you can do absentee ballots as well, too. Need to know more about that? Just go to our city clerks section on our website at siouxfalls.org. On behalf of Mayor Mike Huether, I'm Reed Holson. We'll see you next time.